Hi, everyone.
Hey there.
Welcome back to Down the Rabbit Hole with ASHALA, myself, and my dear daughter, Crystal.
Hi. Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole, everyone.
Yeah.
You're catching us here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channels. You're tuning into, again, Down the Rabbit Hole, coming at you every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as I said, you can catch us here on Rumble as well as YouTube. So like, share, and subscribe. You know what? Why not like, share, and subscribe to both of them? Because there's different content coming out all the time, and sharing is caring. So let other people know where the good shows are at. And we're blessed and honored to be a part of that lineup. So.
Definitely. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing this week? And what are the big questions you're bringing to the table? We've got the cards warmed up here. Crystal and I have been pretty busy doing sessions the last couple of days. So we're ready to dive deep and look at your questions.
Yeah, we've got already one coming in from early morn. Great question. Follow-up question to, oh, nope, that's not it. But hello. Follow-up question to that we addressed the RH factor on Tuesday's show, and that got her thinking about left-handies. So why were left-handed people so vilified for centuries? Let's look into left-handed.
Sure.
Who happens to be?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Oh no,
it's my siblings. Three out of my three siblings, my three blood family siblings are all left-handed, and I'm not. But that is kind of interesting and quite rare to have that many all in one family.
But you've had a suspicion that it got trained out of you.
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Shall we pull the cards up and see?
The waving hand icon didn't come up. I didn't know there was one. All right, let's pull the cards up and check her out here.
Left-handedness.
What do we need to know?
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like it wasn't that long ago that I did a little deep dive personally on this. I happened to be thinking about it, and I do recall that there is new scientific evidence coming out that shows there are certain traits and abilities that left-handed people have because their information is being processed more in the right brain, which is the part of the brain that accesses more of our subconscious intuition. So apparently they are not only more capable of sort of having holistic perspective of things, but you would think that it's only in the area of like psychic intuition and so on, but it actually like kind of transfers over into having special adaptability with details. I feel, if I remember correctly, that it was something to do with being able to perceive patterns and details better than people who are right-handed. Yeah. And so advantages, but obviously disadvantages. It's funny that we use our left hand to pick up intuitively choose which pile that we're going to put on top, because the left hand connects to the right brain, which is our intuitive side, connected more directly to the subconscious. So
Murdoch is saying that their grandma was left-handed when she was in school, and the nuns used to smack her hand with a ruler and told her to use her right hand.
Oh, I mean, people were literally burned at the stake for being left-handed. Oh yeah, people were tortured, killed, vilified.
Hello, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, it does feel like it got started as a rumor, and that was it's so interesting because I'm actually being shown around the time of, there's the mythology in Ireland about the snakes following, is it Saint Patrick that played the flute and got the snakes to leave Ireland or something? It feels like it's coming from that time. And what I sense is that there was a story, like a fairy tale, that featured a left-handed person that had magical abilities.
Mm.
And then when they started with the Inquisition and the persecutions later on in, like, the 14th century, that was they tagged into that story that was like a fairy tale and made that another distinct, because of course what they were looking for when they were persecuting witches is they were looking for what they used to call the witch's mark. So anything like birthmarks or anything that made you look different than normal, anything that wasn't normal was vilified as that was a mark of the devil. You'd been chosen to do the devil's work, basically. And so this fairy tale that was already in circulation, had been for quite a while, people got very suspicious suddenly about left-handed folk because they put the fairy tale and this mark of the devil together and said, oh, left-handedness is the mark of the devil. So
I also feel that this is an interesting one because we have the right hand holding this stick here. And this is a very action-oriented card. And it feels to me that we're actually our right-handed usage, so being so prevalent up until this time, has actually been really necessary in terms of us thinking and existing in a more action-oriented linear fashion because of the epochs that we were in and because of the times that we were in. And now we're still sort of integrating the intuitive part back in.
So this is fascinating, everybody. Hold on to your hats. Like what Crystal's saying, I feel like humans are actually designed to be ambidextrous.
That's what I was going to say, but you didn't let me finish talking.
Shoot! Crystal
that
said
was
it
my
first.
last point.
We're designed to be ambidextrous. And a lot
Exactly
of the genius types, like Leonardo da Vinci was ambidextrous. Many of the highly evolved mind that have, we think of intuition isn't the mind. There's the mind and then there's intuition. Well, intuition is another part of the mind. And it's actually what I call the whole brain intelligence. So it's not just the rational linear mind, but it's the holistic mind, which actually processes so much more information. It's like a supercomputer. So we're designed to use both. And this Crystal is exactly right in saying that we were sort of forced into using the right hand more predominantly because of this evolutionary phase where we really went into the linear, rational individuation, problem solving, science focused, materialist side of ourselves. But we will come back around to integrating, and that I feel as though left-handed people have naturally been more ambidextrous. They've had to be, because they always have to be adjusting to, if you're going to open a door, but it's on the other side. So there's a lot of adjustments that they do naturally. So they're actually working more of their brain.
I agree. And as someone, I'm seeing John Dizzle was saying here that he used to play he plays certain sports, left-handed, hockey, baseball, golf, but not ambidextrous. I mean, you know, it's those practices that really do help us to be ambidextrous, though. I've really noticed that with my hairdressing. I have to use both hands all the time with everything that I'm doing in hairdressing. You know, and at first, that's a really awkward thing to force one hand to do something that it's not used to doing so much.
Or
But
even
it's
to be like doing
to
a
be that
task while the other hand
to
is
be
doing
that
something.
task oriented
Yeah,
with all of it, right? But
Oh, yeah. Isn't that fascinating? Yep. Interesting.
I think that it's one of those things, just to start integrative little practices around it,
Mhm.
where we're using our left hand for more and more things. I mean, even when I had to use my left hand a lot more when my shoulder was frozen as well. And even
Mhm.
doing that, like brushing my teeth with my right hand was hard, you know? So
With
it's
your
like,
left hand, yeah.
no, with my right hand.
Oh.
I mean, okay, so because my shoulder was so sore,
Oh,
it's hard
yes.
for me to do
So you had
anything.
to learn to brush your teeth with
Yeah,
your left hand. Yeah,
precisely.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Um, so we're seeing a lot as well about children, and we do know that, for example, you know, children back in the time when this was persecuted were literally, I mean, if you were a parent and your child was exhibiting left-handedness, you would literally tie that left arm behind their back and force them to use the right hand because it was so terrifying
Mhm.
that they could be, you know, seen as being the mark of the devil kind of thing. Thank goodness we are at a place now where we can actually say, you know, it's possible that more children will, first of all, choose left-handedness going forward,
Yeah,
because
that it's safer to
it's
do
safe
so.
to do so, and also that there are going to be more need. There's going to be more need for more like an ambidextrous energy, but I do feel that we're coming into a time in the next, let's say, I don't know, 50 to 100 years kind of, where we're going to start seeing people coming in ambidextrous. Many, many, many folks coming in ambidextrous. Isn't that exciting? That is so exciting. And that it is good for our brains to use the other hand, the non-dominant hand, more frequently.
Love it.
Wow.
Great first question. Great.
Mhm.
So we do have, is there anything else that we want to look at there? Looks like we're
Yeah, I'm really being drawn to the plants in these images, like the little herbs that are growing out of the land here with our star maiden, and then all the herbs and wildflowers in the garden here. And it's almost like there was a practice where people would harvest wild plants with their left hand. Now, why would they do that? But it's the
no, yeah, that's what
guides,
I was thinking. The practice of gardening.
the
Hey.
guides are saying that we sort of all that there was some traditions where you would do that with your left hand, and that they created a story about why that was done. But really, if you think about nature, and when we're choosing cards with our left hand and using the intuitive side of our brain, it's the same with when we're harvesting. And for some reason, I'm hearing wild things, not so much the plants that we've hybridized and domesticated, but the wild plants. They communicate with us, with our subconscious, and they kind of go like, pick me, or right. And so you can actually tune in better to do that with your left hand, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and almost have a gentler approach to the cultivation,
The harvest.
harvest of the
Yeah.
plant, right? Because it's well, certainly if it's not your dominant hand, it's going to be just in general more, you have to be so much more in your precision with it and gentler with it. Cool. Okay, next question here is, general question for all. How's Mother Gaia's frequency today?
And I did go it. Can we look at Lupo's question as well? Because
Lupo's question starred. It's up next.
Yeah, I want to tag them together.
Okay.
These two questions. The reason I do.
I had sleep paralysis last night, which I've not had for years. Also, I levitated and it felt real. What's the meaning of
Okay.
this?
Because I also had a strange sleep. I didn't have sleep paralysis last night, but I did have kind of not a levitation necessarily experience, but I definitely shot up out of bed and felt powerful energies, which weren't frightening. It was more positive feeling, but it was very active feeling. It felt like the ethers were really activated, and like I literally sat up in bed, which I've also very rarely ever done in my life. And it was in the middle of the night. So let's look at that. It feels connected. The question of
the 145 Club says, unless of course you're dyslexic, then right control's right, left control's left. I mean, the dyslexia is real sometimes. I fully get that one.
Okay, so we're tagging back into the old question here for a sec, just to say, yes, this might be a symptom that we are starting to actually shift. The brain is shifting into ambidextrous capacity. So Mother Gaia frequency, Crystal, let's get your energy in here, and let's put our beautiful crystal down.
Mother Gaia in.
So pretty. What a stone this is. It's interesting because I ended up putting on one of my oldest crystals that I've had. This was my first crystal that I ever purchased, and
before me?
It was right around when you were a baby.
I was gonna say, was I your first crystal?
Yeah, you were my first crystal. Didn't purchase. You were a baby when I got this one. So
interesting.
Long ago.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Close to 40 years I've had it. And it's an amethyst on one side and quartz on the other. And yeah, it's been with me. I don't wear it very often, like maybe once or twice a year. And I was called, it's on my amethyst chain here, and I was called to wear it. So that's kind of feeling into your question, Lupo, and also about Gaia. These particular portals and frequencies. Karmic cleansing. Strategic energy moving, electrical energy. When I see the swords, it makes me think of electricity. And then when I see the pentacles, it makes me think of like magnetism, like Earth's field.
Swords makes you think of electricity, not wands? Can you fill me in on why that is?
Right now it is making me think of that.
Okay, cool.
Wands, fire. Yes, I could see electricity and fire go together as well, but for some reason I'm seeing electricity with the swords today.
Okay.
And then magnetism with these pentacles. So Gaia is moving energy. It's interesting because frequency, I'm almost feeling like electricity with the swords and frequency with the wands.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And
I can see that.
Then
metal is quite a conductor, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then there's the conductor of the metal as well. So there's something going on with it, because sixes are a lot about harmonizing energy, and the justice is about karmic balance. You see, he's got the scales of karmic balance. But there's also the cleansing of karma from certain landscapes. So a lot of electrical energy moving through the magnetism of Earth that is bringing balance to
Yeah.
areas where there's been karmic
Disruption.
disruption. That's the
Yeah.
word I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Oh, look, the two scales.
that's what I was just going to say.
Oh,
But
sorry. Sorry, Crystal. I'm taking the words out of her mouth today. So sorry.
I just
darling.
did hear in the
No,
comment
no,
section.
no. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Carry on.
We're great minds think alike.
Yes, we do.
There. So the
I
two
was going to
cards.
say we have both the cards that have the scales on them here, and I feel like they really do speak a lot to the balance of justice and karma as well, right? Because we've got almost the two sides of the scale with these two cards. We have the balance of humanity, reciprocity, generosity, and then we also have the balance and the weight of something like law and structure or higher powers and like physical justice, right? So
Well, I think
it feels like two parts of it.
I think we might have to let a bit of the cat out of the bag with that whole metals thing that came through.
Give her.
So in a reading this week, I channeled some fascinating perspectives on metals going forward, precious metals in our time. I'm seeing like 600 or 700 years going back to where we got into a real frequency distortion around money and these models of the opposite of financial sovereignty. We got into financial slavery systems that we were kind of tricked into that became legal power systems. Now, how this relates to Gaia is that Gaia is opening up these wounds, so to speak, in the land, but it's being done in a very harmonious way. And so those of us that have skills like you, Lupo, can be bringing balance to that. There was like a formula, there was a spell that was cast back then to put us in this money slavery system. That's coming, that spell is being removed. It's coming off now. And karmic balance is being restored. Gaia is moving energy. And some of it is going to come through the precious metals, where those of us that are going to do good things with the frequency of wealth and abundance, which isn't about money anymore. It's about like we will be given the resources, and a lot of it is going to come through the metals. So, I mean, it's getting into almost like the esoteric aspect of when we're ready to do something that benefits humanity, like the metals will find their way to us.
Mm-hmm. And then how much of the wealth from that do you offer back?
To the land.
To the land. To
So
the land, to tithing, to whatever that
it's
looks
about
like.
how
in
pure
the name of spirit.
It's about how pure the
in the
heart is.
elements.
It's when the heart is pure, meaning that it's going to actually really utilize that resource in the very best way possible, like in a high frequency way, which isn't perfect, but it is like, 60 to 70% about generosity and giving and gifting and contributing and all of that kind of stuff. More and more wealth will come to us. And it was kind of shown in this reading, it was going to be almost not like accidental or something like that. And speaking about the old fairy tales, those fairy tales where the pure-hearted ones ended up being gifted this pot that never ran dry, like it was always full of food. It always, it always gave them more than enough. This is where we're going. And Gaia is going to open up resources for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's to the death of the Babylonian money magic, a true left-hand
path, which was really about co-opting the potency of the left hand and reserving it. Like perhaps the left-handed beings were being persecuted because the controllers wanted all that power concentrated in their ranks. They didn't want anyone outside of those ranks to be
activating.
exactly.
Yeah. And actualizing. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Did I steal the words right out of your mouth?
You did. In the best way possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at Lupo.
Let's look at that more specifically. I would suspect that there might be some areas near where you reside, Lupo, that have some really deep-seated wounds around this left-handed dark cult money magic sickness. Is that correct? Is it okay if I do and then you pull the
absolutely. One? Yeah. I think middle's good. Okay.
Super.
Yeah.
Oh, this is you, Lupo. You're a bright light, and you're open and resonating with this pure frequency. Oh, exactly what we were just saying. This card has to do with the poverty sickness, which isn't actually about not being able to create wealth in the broken, sick system, power dominant system. It's about being tricked into believing that we are enslaved and that there is such a thing as lack and poverty. It's a trick because everything was taken and then given back. So it's like if you have a system that takes all the wealth and goods and then doles it back to you based on what their rules are that are always changing. You have to, hop through those hoops. No, actually hop through these hoops. Oh no, I'll hop through those hoops over there. Okay, you'll get one thing. Whereas real wealth and abundance naturally, according to natural law, is like, Lupo, you're a good man and a good hunter, and you go out into the forest and the stag appears in front of you and pretty much lays itself down at your feet to feed your family because it's like, it's the pure heart.
Yeah.
So in the original natural law, the pure heart would be,
of high value,
showered with abundance.
Yeah.
But we got tricked into this game, this money game, which is about power and dominance. And it's a horrible, evil sickness. And we all have it in our bodies, and it's in the land. And it's especially in certain lands where these rituals were deeply kind of rooted. So,
and then potentially dug up. I mean, he's in the UK.
Yeah. So this is the old. So you've opened up something and you're clearing. You see that? Opened up with the magician. Look at that. 2 major arcana clearing this old system out of your frequency.
Yeah. Nice.
Whoa. Are you going to find a pot of gold? Do you have a touch of the leprechaun in you?
10 of Pentacles.
From the 10 of Swords to the 10 of Pentacles. This is like Lady Luck. I mean, wow.
Lupo knows too. Lupo's also a card reader. So.
Yep. Okay, let's lay down the advice here. Yep. So it's something about the strong patriarch is not the one that has all the wealth. It's the one that knows how to use power in a good way. And power is for protecting and empowering those around you. Power isn't about stealing power. Power is about supporting others to engage in their own empowerment. When you empower people, you are a power sort of bank, a resource bank,
Power provider.
power provider.
Mm-hmm.
You don't steal the power. Of course, when you've empowered someone, guess what they want to do? They want to gift you back. They want to say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So beautiful. And that's the reciprocity, right? That's the Six of Pentacles, right? So that's where we're moving through to. And that's where, as Mom was saying, where the true wealth lies. And I think this is so incredibly beautiful. It's like completing this, wiping out this frequency and this cycle to bring in.
Oh, I'm
true
getting
legacy
yeah, I'm
path.
getting all this stuff
Go for
about
it.
I'm getting stuff about your family line, some really strong, healthy patriarchal energy on your father's lineage going back, maybe not that far, like possibly 4 or 5 generations. And then a lot about protecting the daughters, protecting the feminine, especially the young feminine. So daughters, granddaughters, that kind of energy. But yeah, you will transmute a lot of this negative money, power, dominant energy in the land around where you live. And nature will provide for you and your family in a really beautiful way in these years ahead. Wow. So this is what's going on with the sleep paralysis. You're tapping in to that energy moving through your system.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's directing you into a new direction too. Like
Which is interesting because they're both going into the past,
Mhm.
going back into your lineage, going back to recover things, to recover the dignity of people that struggled and suffered with poverty. I mean, we've all got it. We've all got that in our lineages. So, wow. So beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just watching something about that on Aubrey Marcus was doing an interview with Teal Swan.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just watching something about the compassionate container that the caring container, the complete container that the masculine can hold. And I mean, look, we've got on the bottom here the true sovereign feminine coming in there too. Like it's you're right. The emperor can be misunderstood, and the masculine and men have been misguided, and unfortunately had to have the contract of walking a pretty challenging program in some ways.
Well, I mean, misguided and also
misused,
totally abused and tormented and hijacked, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the masculine parts in ourselves.
Yeah.
So we'll just speak to this one. I think this is probably a better one to bring onto one of Janine and JC's shows to ask them about that. That's not really our place to be speaking to that. But well done on sending them something. That's lovely. And that's I see that you confirmed that Sarah confirmed that they got it. So wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Hey,
John.
How did we, society, start accepting being told what to do and not having a choice? I see new laws continually make choices that we don't have to comply.
Okay. I'm going to get you to shuffle on that too, Crystal. I mean, when we look at the systems of power dominance and control and manipulation, it's almost always enforced with violence at the onset. It's like violence, abuse, trauma goes on for a few generations till you get to the point where people don't fight back anymore.
Right? It just flew out.
Boundaries.
Yep.
So people don't ask questions or fight back because it's futile, right? It's kind of like if you were, let's say you were doing an experiment with mice and the generations, and you remove their ability to have these choices for, like, I don't know, and eventually they're not even going to try, right? It's going to be bred in. It's literally genetically bred into us that we just don't even bother trying. So what we're doing, in fact, is we're tapping in further back in our genetic history. We're going back to the time where we are around ancestors that, hell no, they fought back before it got literally beaten out of us. So the memory of the soul is still in there to not comply, but we have to override all the programming that is layered in through trauma from the last, well, certainly several centuries, if not a millennia or 2 or 3. So, and we all have it to different degrees and in different areas where some people are really open in this area, but so stuck over here, and vice versa, right? Like we all have our own blend of trauma and the ways that we're limited and that we don't even see that we're acquiescing. That's the worst part, right? Like you try to talk to a lot of normies, they're not even aware they're acquiescing. So it's like there's been oaths taken and contracts agreed upon to not ask questions because people are just so terrified for their lives or for their lives of their loved ones, to go through terrible torture and suffering. Yeah. So I think let's look at, we get a sense of how this happened. Where are we going with this? How do we recover our innate nature? Well, it's already started, according to this. Okay, I'm gonna say something silly here. Really silly. You know what this looks like to me? It looks like a bowling ball and bowling pins.
Yeah, I mean, totally, right? I was going to say that it's like we need to find the crack in the armor, right? This feels to me like prison bars. And it's like we need to find the one that we can utilize that gets us through.
Open the bars.
Well, so it's like we still want to utilize aspects of the system and give it just enough. Like if it's like, 10% somehow.
And if you think about bowling balls, right? It's like they're literally, I mean, yeah, they look so solid, but that thing comes down, it rolls down the the lane, and once they topple, like they all start knocking each other over. It's like these bars, as Crystal was saying, are not really very strong.
Yeah.
It's not like you throw the bowling ball down and it comes up against solid iron bars.
They're only strong because we hold them up there.
Exactly. So it's literally like bowl it over. And once one goes, it's like a domino effect. You knock over one gate or limit and suddenly it all starts to topple. And isn't this ironic too? This is the third reference to bowling we've had this week.
It is. It's true.
We've had 3. This is number 3 where we never talk about bowling, but it's come up. This is the third time, probably in a couple of days.
Probably need to go bowling.
I think so.
It seems like it's been like that forever. Pharaohs, royalty, popes, etc. I mean, and yet again, that's
not forever.
Because we're putting the power in one place.
If that's forever, for starters, it's really gotten quite bad in the last 1,000 years. It's gotten worse and worse. But the forever maximum going back is 9,000 years. It wasn't like that forever before that. So it's, since our recorded history of civilization began, what is civilization? It's basically these bars being put down. As soon as we had civilization, we had somebody taking the resources and saying, I will give them to you if you're good.
Mm.
And the reason we did that was because we were coming out of a time of a lot of scarcity and cataclysms and challenges, and people were willing to give all their surpluses to someone to hold it safe for them in case there was another crisis, that they'd have somewhere to go for their grain stores, for example. But eventually it was no longer their grain. It was the grain that belonged to the Lord, to the king, to the elite, to the power. And then people had to literally kind
Pay
of
for what
beg
they-
and pay
yeah,
for
for
what
what they
already was
already
naturally cultivated by
Yeah.
them. So this is, the game has been shifted to the point now where we can't even grow our grain. We don't even know how to feed ourselves. I mean, it's just so sad that we're so vulnerable. But we're also so waking up to the jig is up, and we can knock this all over with one. Yep.
That's all we're doing?
I think so.
Oh, you were doing like a
I was.
focus answer spread.
I was, but I got excited, and maybe we're going on to something else. Let's see if are there more comments? Are there more questions?
Not a ton here. Okay.
Did see something. Yep.
I had a dream about a new religion the other night, actually. I don't remember much from it, except that the followers had to bend over at the waist and let their hands drop to the floor.
Wow. And then there's a part 2 to that too.
Yeah.
Here, I'll let you shuffle on
I
that
mean,
too.
I thought someone said religion. Okay.
Go ahead and shuffle.
That was yeah, I mean, it wasn't entirely a question, but that's what was coming up.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
When you need to know about the dream.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And there are themes here. If you notice, we're getting into the theme of like nighttime experiences, Gaia's frequency, left-handedness. There is some
You can get break.
commonality.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at, I think it's the first one.
You do have another question coming up here.
Okay. I'm going to just do 3 then.
Yeah.
So bending at the waist is so interesting. You know, and putting your hands down to the earth is, in a way, it reminds me of like our animal nature, right? Like we're so used to being so rigidly, you know, we're
an antennae
and we're also like we're closer to God, our heads are at the top, we're kind of in this hierarchy where we're way above the animals, and all of that is fine. Like all of that is to some degree, I believe, true. But we can't lose our animal side. It's a beautiful part of who we are, and it's the instinctual part of us that we've been taught to believe is evil, but it becomes more evil and distorted when it's misunderstood and mistreated. Just like you know, if a dog is mistreated, it becomes vicious. So the human nature animal part has become vicious because it's been abused. So what I'm getting is that we're being told to go back down and maybe not walk on all fours, but like just go back to this energy of, and then there's a reverence in that to earth and nature and Gaia. It's not just this, the sky father and God is up there in heaven, you know. It's like to have reverence for the earth is what I'm hearing, because look at this, it's like the 2 sides, the above and the below.
Yeah, and the 2 sides here, right?
Yes. Another 2.
Yeah.
And the bend is in the middle. And it's like it's interesting that think about all those different pilgrimage religions where what did they used to do when they were on their way to whatever the pilgrimage was? They would literally bend down and prostrate themselves on the ground and then stand up and take a few steps and do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
So, no, something is what I'm feeling about that
Yeah.
Green Mountain Girl.
Yeah. So we have another question. Let's make sure
Mhm.
that we're checking out all the comments. Brenda said, I have done astral travel a lot. When our youngest daughter was in her last days of life, I've learned a lot out and found that there's much more in life. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Our thanks to you and the loss of your daughter. So sorry to hear that.
Mhm. And that you learned a lot about
Yeah.
astral travel with what I'm hearing is that you were in a journey with her coming and going in out of the spirit realm, which is such a honor to be the one that does that work with a soul as it's crossing over. And it's so natural. I would imagine that a parent would do that with their own child. So, wow, really burst our hearts here
Absolutely.
with the love of that. Mm-hmm.
We'll give our hearts to you, Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to your daughter.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning and my inner voice said the word resurrection. Any insight?
Rosicrucian.
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 Rosicrucian. Mom's gonna read it. I have some dyslexia happening here, and I get words muddled up. Pardon my muddle. Go ahead and say
Well,
it.
maybe it is. Maybe it is something to do with the resurrection.
It's one of those things where you see like the beginning and the end
And
in the
you
middle,
fill
and
in.
I was just like, yeah, that's resurrection. Okay, pardon me. Rosicrucian.
Okay, so you're gonna shuffle.
Okay,
Crystal
and
on
I'm
this
shuffling
one.
on Rosicrucian.
Feel very spacious around it. It feels like there's going to be some specific message for you. Logan 11. Thanks for asking about this.
Rosicrucian. I like it. It feels good almost to say, doesn't it?
It does. What is the name of that? Chuck Swindle. Chuck Swindle. He's been on Archaic's channel. He is really going into the path of Rosicrucianism. And I watched a couple of his things on that, and it was quite fascinating. So you might want to check that out. His channel on YouTube is Chuck Swindle, Swindell, I think is how to say it. Anyway, that's what when you said that, it just popped into my front perception there because it's something that I've seen in the last couple of weeks. So
maybe the name for a new cinnamon roll.
Okay. So what is this for you? I think we're going to do a focus for this.
Oh, well, we have another question up here.
I'll go fast. I'll go fast.
Oh, you will.
Yeah. That's so funny that somebody said a cinnamon bun because I actually feel like there's something to do with sugar metabolism related to this for you. Wow. Like carbohydrate metabolism with this card here. So blood sugar imbalance challenge, and that there's something in the teachings and the practices that will help your body come into alignment. Look, even I'm noticing all the grapes.
Yeah, I was going to say something about wine or something like that.
Yeah, so alcohol, wine. Oh, look, and a cup in the past. So this could be some way that you're coming into a new frequency around substances, alcohol, carbohydrates, sugar, metabolism, and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and finding love.
So Logan 11 is actually Angela. Thank you for reading my question. Call me Angela.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, Angela.
And Angela's been craving sweets nonstop lately.
Okay. Okay. So there's love coming to you, which is the real sweetness, and you're going to let go of some of the dysfunctional connection to the sweets and the alcohol, sugars, and all that kind of stuff. And I would check out some of the Rosicrucian practices to see if there's any healing for you in that system. Cool. Cool.
Well done. Quick you were.
I was.
Mhm.
She didn't believe that I would be.
What? I didn't say it a whole lot. I left you to the quickness. Okay. Will the discovery of places like
Göbekli Tepe,
thank you, etc., finally make mainstream and start admitting that humanity is way older than they tell us? I mean, this is way up your wheelhouse.
you're going to shuffle on it, my dear.
Absolutely, I am.
Discovery of places like Göbekli Tepe. So, interesting. I've got a sense coming in. I'm going to speak to it, and then you can tell me in the cards, Crystal, if my sense is showing up in the cards or not. My sense is.
Before we do that,
yeah.
Pause your sense just for 1 second. Angela also wanted to say that they are married. So what would you say in response to that in terms of love for sweetness?
Turning over a new leaf in your love, in your relationship, coming into a better frequency of being loved in the way that feels supportive to you and sweet to you. Bigger conversation.
Swords in there too, right? So it's
yeah,
like
communication,
moving in a new direction with that. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going back to Göbekli Tepe. And my sense is that we have a lot of places that have hit the mainstream. I mean, just think of something like the pyramids, for example, where it even when they go to the mainstream, they don't necessarily like people just, it gets lost in the shuffle. People just classify it as another one of those unexplainable things. And what does feel like it lands is the more, because I think we're going to find a lot more sacred sites in every part of the world. So if like right down the road from where you live, suddenly a pyramid is unearthed, or, some new discoveries are made that are totally anomalous and break the narrative of the history of the land where you are, that's what's going to start to activate people. The things that are close to where they live are going to, so, unfortunately, the Middle East, Greece and Egypt and all these countries, Turkey, a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, they're so steeped in all of these extraordinary sacred sites already that people just throw it in the pile. Oh, it's another Stonehenge, it's another pyramid, it's another. But when we start having it coming out of it, I think especially in America, when we start getting a lot more hidden archaeology unearthed in America, that's what's really going to catalyze people's curiosity. We're going to be learning a lot more about America and the ancient history of these lands. So 3 cards?
Bit by bit, yeah.
Yeah, so it starts, it gets a little buzz, and then it just goes neutral again. It's like, oh, just another one of those strange anomalies somewhere over there in a foreign ancient place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that we're entirely ready still for all of the truths to be revealed. It's probably needing to go slower than we think it should.
So much restraint, right?
Yeah.
Like so much, like we've got her restrained and this character is restrained, and I'm gonna pull a couple more on this. It's so frustrating.
I don't like that.
I'm right with you there.
Yes.
Another 8. Well, this is interesting because I'm hearing that for one thing, a lot of the archaeology, I know about this because I have a degree in, well, anthropology and archaeology, is that discipline is so dominated by men, and that male scholarly academic attitude, which is, we're going to make what we find fit into the narrative. But I do feel that we're going to see a lot more women stepping into this discipline in the next 10 years, and they're just not going to let it rest. They're not going to just cover the evidence up. They're going to go deeper, and things are going to start coming to the surface that challenge the narrative. Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I think everybody, people are going to start working together here.
Mm-hmm. Especially women.
Yeah,
so
women.
When I say women, I mean a feminine approach to a discipline like archaeology, where it's like, actually, we're not looking to sustain our belief. We're looking to blow our belief wide open and completely change the narrative.
Yeah, you got it.
So, yeah, there will need to be a new approach to the whole discipline, but it's coming. More and more women are going to be pushing their way into this field, and I think, we have people like Graham Hancock that have brought this into the public narrative. We've got Ancient Aliens and all this, Gaia TV, all these things, and people, more and more mainstream people, are at least getting like stimulated that they have the capacity to consider a different narrative. And then you get some of these new scientists that are really very much about like actually uncovering the real evidence and not just going back down the old avenues of the narrative, but opening up new narratives. And once, it's just sort of like John's question, right? Once somebody breaks that gate open, all these others, it's almost like it's going to be one female archaeologist that kind of blows the doors off a bit, and then 2 or 3 more are just going to race right in right after her and be like, yeah, us too.
I wonder if your book has anything to do with that.
I don't know, maybe. I'm writing a book, a fantasy book, a fiction, historical fiction book, but that's not happening for another few years because I have all my other work between now and then. So we'll see. It'll probably come out right at the time.
3 years.
Yeah, it might come out right at the time where all this is happening. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, yes.
She's so clever. Such a good storyteller.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, everyone. That's it for us. Let's pull a couple of these things up. Anything else to say about
Hooray
that, Mom?
for pushy women. Right?
Indeed.
Pushy women. Well, I can think of a few pushy women archaeologists that have been out there already, but they just get bowled over because they're a minority. And that's going to shift. Yeah. That is going to shift. It's shifting already.
Okie dokie.
Going to bring up those cards, Crystal?
Yes, I am. Let's take these cards down.
Yeah.
Let's put these cards up. And a couple little promotions here today as well.
Ascension Arganites is having an entire store 30% off, automatically applied at the checkout and valid until the 25th of December. Christmas shopping time.
Jump on over. Beautiful.
They really are. They really are. So jump on over there and.
Okay, beautiful. What a great offering.
What a great offering. And probably if you got on it like today, you could still get it delivered before Christmas.
Christmas.
Yep.
And we also have the offering from Jay Widener from the conference. Mm-hmm.
And his
Incredible
talk on
talk.
alchemy, really, really amazing. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, it's at a super affordable price. Jump on over and
Yeah, I think $7.77.
Yep. And then you can find us.
And then you can find us.
Book a private 1 hour tarot reading, psychic reading consultation with myself or Crystal, or a half hour with Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got some feedback from somebody. Was it yesterday? They were like, I can't believe how much I got out of that in a half an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yeah. We can get a lot done in half an hour. Mind you, depends on how much you know, how big of a question it is, I'd say for sure. So
yeah.
Or how big your questions are. Okay, and you're hanging out with us on the Down the Rabbit Hole show. We have Beyond the News coming up, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then catch Coco on the Coco Show coming up on tomorrow morning. Intuition Fridays with Mom and Penny Kelly, and then you can catch Mom wrapping up the week, winding up the week.
It's my 3 days in a row show.
3 days in a row show.
Yeah. Totally.
That's it, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you again on Tuesday.
And I'll see you tomorrow and Saturday.
That's right. Ciao for
Bye.
now.